Is the UK intelligence community, UK police, well aware of this Iranian factor? Even Mark Rowling today, after meeting the Home Office Home Secretary, was talking that we do have external malicious actors in the society acting.
I think there's multiple things that Britain needs to consider, and as a result of that, it inadvertently relegates the issue of security. So Britain very much wants to maintain diplomatic ties with Iran in an attempt to perhaps ameliorate nuclear ambitions, in an attempt to manage conflict, and it's not been decisive to prescribe the IRGC as a terrorist organization in the way, say, the United States has done. And there's always a reluctance on the part of the British authorities to have the same kind of swift momentum to respond to things the way American counterparts had done. For example, Hamas. Britain had initially created a distinction between political and military wings. And then they realized after a number of years that the two were synonymous. One couldn't survive without the other. Indeed, one provided cover for the other. So I don't know if it's British culture or if it's Britain's considerations in the region. However, it's very, very reluctant to take decisive measures against external actors that may be fostering discontent in the United Kingdom. And that doesn't only extend to Iran. Bear in mind the disinformation that Russia or China are conducting within Western societies. There's been a very, very gradual process to address this, whether it be in campuses, in digital media, etc., etc.
Right. Today, the big discussions in the UK media and amongst the politicians is on this use of jihad word. What's your take? What's your opinion?
I understand that people could conduct intellectual acrobatics and speak about how theologically jihad is an internal jihad for them to conquer their own desires. However, one doesn't shout that out at a rally. The context is all. So if somebody is shouting jihad at a rally, which is targeting Jews and blaming Israel, it's quite clear that the call for jihad is a call for genocide.
Right. Would you like your NGO would like to see the British politicians drawing a much clearer line? This is what the police is talking in the last couple of days.
There are certain statements that are genocidal and can't be explained away. So the calls for jihad, waving ISIS flags, speaking about from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. It's quite clear that that entails genocide of a Jewish population. But that also naturally spills over to British society as well. Nobody abstractly wishes for genocide of the Jews in Israel without seeking their genocide here in the United Kingdom. They go together.
Right. You've organized some time ago a big conference at Royal United Services Institute on the future of Palestine. Right now, in current climate, do you think what are the routes? What are the scenarios? Let's say if I ask you to paint the best case scenario, both for Israel and for the state of Palestine, what will that be?
The best scenario would be not only the elimination of Hamas, but the elimination of jihadi terrorist organizations, but their ethos, which they have cultivated for the masses to subscribe to. So there's been a survey that was done in either June or July that spoke about over 80% of Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank subscribing to, first of all, supporting Hamas and subscribing to this jihadi philosophy. The survey also showed that Ismail Haniyeh from Hamas is far more popular than Abbas. So even though an election took place over a decade and a half ago, Hamas's popularity, due to its resistance and genocidal ideology, remains very popular. So the ultimate scenario would be uprooting not only these organizations but this philosophy, and having international stakeholders, perhaps Abraham Accord partners, or partners that are normalizing relations with Israel. So Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, perhaps Egypt, the United States, the EU, all attempting to create governance, infrastructure, civil society that is liberal and aligned with that of the West, as opposed to one that wants to undermine the West. That would be the ultimate scenario.
This is your